There is nothing quite like seeing the guy who just broke your heart with someone else. It doesn't seem to matter how much time has passed. If you haven't moved on, and he has, there is nothing that makes you feel absolutely miserable all over again as quickly as that sight. Seeing him with someone else, in that place where you were supposed to be, with him, it makes you experience that heartbreak all over again. It was supposed to be me, you think to yourself. How does it happen? You want to know. Why her and not me? I spent far too many hours of my own life trying to find the answers to both of these questions. Because after all, if we know the answer to that, then we feel like we finally have some control over our lives and what happened. After all, we've all heard the all too familiar story of the rare guy who's been in his fair share of long-term relationships, but never ever found a reason to commit for real. Until suddenly we get the news through a friend that he's suddenly found the right woman for him, and his previous aversion to commitment has all of a sudden gone away. You wanted this with him. Why couldn't this be happening to you? Why weren't you enough for him? I know that these are the questions that play on our minds, giving us one more reason to doubt ourselves and believe yet again that we're missing. We're missing whatever it is that she has that we don't. Right? Have you ever been in this situation before? Pause the video right here and let me know in the comments below. Just a yes, it's happened to me, or no, not me. I want to see you. And then click the subscribe button while you're at it so you don't miss any of my future videos. The biggest problem when this happens is our negative self-talk. This is so detrimental to our confidence and our self-esteem. What's wrong with me? We ask ourselves. And the answer is there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. But there is a reason he commits to someone else instead of you. It's because she's not you. But there's more to it than that. She's not you because she's either got her own commitment issues or she's genuinely not interested in anything more than a different, more independent kind of relationship where she doesn't ask him, this is key, where she doesn't ask him to be anything more than he is. She doesn't ask him to change. Whatever reason he may give for why she's got him, and you don't, if you were to ask him, the only reason is because with her, he has enough space and he doesn't have to change anything about himself. He doesn't have to change anything about himself. This is the only reason why it works. So if you can genuinely give him that kind of space and get rid of your expectations of what you need him to be, he might commit to you. And I say genuinely, because you can't fake it if you can't live like this, if this isn't what you can actually do. It won't work that way. It has to be real. But do you really even want to live like that? Because what you don't see behind the pictures they post that show the two of them so happily together is the emotional side of their relationship that isn't there. You don't see that. There's so much more than just the surface of their relationship that you do see. And that's the part that could never be what you were going for with him, what you wanted with him. They don't have to reveal too much beyond the surface part of who they are. Nothing ever gets too deep. Nothing is ever more personal. Nothing is ever beyond the comfort level for both of them because it's not what either of them want. She doesn't nag. She doesn't ask. She doesn't complain. He doesn't have to look within. He doesn't have to change. It works because they're two people on the same page, and this relationship works for both of them. Both of them. They both get their own needs met so that neither one of them runs the risk of losing themselves in the relationship. They get their needs met within themselves or with their friends, but they're not looking to the other one to change to be what they need them to be. And for the emotionally unavailable man who doesn't want a real commitment, it is the perfect setup. Why can't I be like that? That's usually the question I get when I'm explaining what's going on here. It sounds perfect, doesn't it? From where you are, feeling all alone, it makes you wonder why you can't just be that woman. Oh, you can be. But if that's not actually who you are, it won't be sustainable. Because you're you, not her. You want to be her? Well, that's a whole other conversation and work to be had. But if that's what you want to be, let's talk about that down in the comments. So does he ever commit? If he gets lonely enough, if he decides to do the work to do something about it, if he meets someone who has enough of her own life going on that he doesn't have to worry about losing himself in her, if she doesn't need anything more than he's comfortable giving her, if she doesn't need him to change. But is this you? Is it really? Really, you? There's a reason these non-committal types end up falling for someone other than us. It's because we weren't on the same page as they were, and they knew it. And if we're honest with ourselves, we know it too. We sensed it. We felt it. It's why we're up all night Googling everything we can to try to find some shred of hope to hold on to give us a reason to believe it's not true, but it was, and it is. You can pretend yourself, but you can't fool both of you. One of you is going to eventually see it for what it is. Two people on two different pages. Different needs, different requirements, different fantasies, different types of relationships. You're looking for, both of you, something different. You want him to change. He needs you to be something different. He's not, you are. But there is nothing wrong with you. Just because he found what he was looking for doesn't negate who you are. It's why you've got to stop fighting what can't be, because when you're with the one who's on your page, you're going to see this so clearly for yourself. You can never, ever be happy for long pretending that you can live with who he is and what he wants if you don't want that life for yourself. You can never be happy for long trying to go along with the pace he's set for your relationship if you want so much more than that. You have every right to. But don't put that on him. Take it back on yourself, own that, and find a way to get your own needs met outside of him. That's how this begins to change. By you looking to yourself, to your own beautiful life instead of him. Maybe one day you'll be the one he's looking for. But I'll tell you this, I have a feeling by then, because I've seen it, you'll be so completely and utterly off of him that the only attraction he'll hold is of some old fantasy of what could have been. Do you see that? More fantasy. Come back to reality, beautiful. It's where you belong. Have you ever been through this kind of heartbreak? Are you going through it maybe right now? You're not alone. Share your story with us in the comments, and let's talk about it. I'll see you there.